Why do you keep putting things off? You know what needs to be done, yet you hesitate. You check your phone, tell yourself you'll start later, and suddenly, the day is gone. Sound familiar? Procrastination isn't just a bad habit, it's a battle against yourself. But what if I told you the ancient Stoics had already mastered the art of overcoming procrastination thousands of years ago? Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus didn't have smartphones, social media, or endless distractions. Yet they faced the same inner resistance we do today. And they developed a mindset that allowed them to act despite fear, discomfort, or doubt. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how Stoic philosophy can help you stop delaying, take action, and finally get things done. No fluff, no vague motivation, just timeless wisdom applied to modern life. Let's begin. Number 1. Understand that you're not guaranteed tomorrow. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, or next week, or when you feel more prepared. But tomorrow is never promised. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. If you truly internalize this, how much would you put off? If you knew that today could be your last, would you still hesitate? Procrastination thrives on the illusion of unlimited time. We assume we'll always have another day, another chance, another moment to act. And so we delay. But the Stoics knew that life is unpredictable. A healthy person can die unexpectedly. A stable job can disappear overnight. And the opportunities we assume will always be there may vanish. This isn't meant to be depressing. It's a wake-up call. Imagine you were given a bank account where every morning $86,400 was deposited, but at midnight, whatever you didn't spend was erased. You'd use every last cent, wouldn't you? Yet every day, we're given 86,400 seconds, and most people waste them without a second thought. The Stoic doesn't dwell on fear of death, but rather uses it as a tool to stay present and act decisively. The next time you feel like putting something off, ask yourself, if I knew I wouldn't wake up tomorrow, would I be okay leaving this unfinished? If the answer is no, then you have your answer. Get up, start, and do what needs to be done, not someday but today. Number 2. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. How often have you told yourself you need more time, better circumstances, or the perfect mindset before you start something important? This is one of the greatest lies of procrastination, the idea that conditions must be ideal before we take action. But, as Marcus Aurelius puts it, do not be ashamed of needing help. You have a duty to fulfill just as a soldier on the wall of battle. So what if you are injured and cannot climb without another's help? Life is never perfectly aligned. Waiting for motivation, inspiration, or the right timing is just another form of avoidance. The Stoic understands that action itself is what brings clarity, strength, and momentum. Think of the soldier in Marcus Aurelius's words. He doesn't sit and wait for his wounds to heal before fighting. He keeps moving forward, asking for help when needed, but never making excuses. In modern life, we often delay action because we're afraid of looking foolish or making mistakes. The reality is, no one starts as an expert. A writer doesn't write a perfect novel on their first attempt. An entrepreneur doesn't launch a flawless business without iterations. The only way to improve is to start, even when conditions aren't perfect. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. If you struggle with procrastination, remember that perfectionism is just fear in disguise. The best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is right now. Number 3, control what you can, ignore what you can't. Procrastination often roots itself in the anxiety of things outside our control. We hesitate because we're worried about outcomes, opinions, or circumstances we can't predict. But this fear of the unknown leads to inaction. Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This insight is profoundly liberating in the modern world. When you're stuck in a cycle of procrastination, it's usually because you're focusing on external factors. Will my project be successful? What if I'm rejected? What if I fail? These questions keep us paralyzed. But Stoicism teaches that the only thing we truly control is our effort and perception. You cannot control whether people will like your work, but you can control the quality of what you produce. You cannot control market conditions, but you can control how you adapt. A practical example in our digital age: imagine you're an aspiring content creator. You delay posting because you're afraid of negative feedback or low engagement. But by focusing on things you can't control, how people will react, you miss out on the one thing that is within your power: creating and sharing your work. The Stoic way is to shift your attention to what you can do right now. Start with small steps, take action, and trust the process. Worrying about outcomes only wastes energy and precious time. As Marcus Aurelius suggests, you can choose to revoke this worry and focus on what matters: doing the work. Number 4, train yourself to take the first step. Starting is often the hardest part. The mind conjures up all sorts of reasons to delay: lack of readiness, fear of failure, or simply feeling overwhelmed. But Stoicism emphasizes action over endless deliberation. Epictetus offers this straightforward advice: don't explain your philosophy, embody it. This is a call to stop talking about what you plan to do and just do it. Modern life bombards us with distractions and information. It's easy to fall into a trap of overthinking, researching endlessly, or planning excessively without taking action. The Stoics were men of action. They understood that ideas without execution are meaningless. If you're struggling with procrastination, consider this: you don't need to know everything to begin. You only need to take the first step. The path becomes clearer as you move forward. This principle is especially relevant in the age of digital productivity tools. We spend hours organizing tasks, but the real progress happens when you start doing the tasks. A good way to build this habit is to break down overwhelming projects into smaller, manageable steps. Commit to a few minutes of action. Often, the hardest part is simply beginning. Once you take that first step, the momentum builds, and the next step becomes easier. Remember, embodying philosophy means living it out, not just discussing it. Number 5, take ownership of your time. Time is the most precious resource we have, yet it's the one we squander the most. We procrastinate, thinking there's always more time, more opportunities, more chances to do what we need to do. Seneca warns us against this complacency. No person hands out their money to passers-by, but to how many do each of us hand out our lives? We're tight-fisted with property and money, yet think too little of wasting time, the one thing about which we should all be the toughest misers. In a modern context, this quote hits hard. We carefully guard our finances, making sure not to overspend or waste resources. Yet we let others steal our time with pointless meetings, social media scrolling, or endless distractions. Procrastination is a form of time theft, often committed by our own mind. We allow ourselves to be sidetracked by trivialities, failing to prioritize what truly matters. To combat this, the Stoic approach is to treat time as a finite resource. Be intentional with how you spend it. Schedule your priorities, set boundaries, and eliminate unnecessary distractions. Recognize that time is your life's currency, and every moment you waste is a moment you'll never get back. Instead of procrastinating, start valuing each hour as an opportunity to move closer to your goals. Don't wait for motivation. Take action and protect your time fiercely. Seneca's wisdom reminds us that the true measure of wealth is not money, but how well we use the limited time we have. Number 6, discomfort is temporary. Regret lasts forever. Most people procrastinate not because they're lazy, but because they want to avoid discomfort. The hard conversation, the intimidating project, the physical workout, these things create immediate resistance. But avoidance only makes things worse in the long run. Epictetus put it bluntly, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. This is where modern society struggles. We want to appear competent, successful, and skilled right from the start. The fear of looking unprepared or struggling keeps people from even trying. But the Stoic understands that every great accomplishment begins with discomfort. No one starts as a master. The first day in the gym is awkward. The first public speech feels terrifying. The first business venture is riddled with mistakes. But what's the alternative? Stay the same and regret never trying. A practical modern example is the hesitation many people feel about learning a new skill. They want to start coding, speaking a new language, or writing. But they keep delaying because they don't want to go through the beginner phase. But avoiding the discomfort of learning leads to stagnation. The Stoic approach is to accept that difficulty and awkwardness are part of the journey. The pain of growth is short-lived. The pain of regret lasts forever. If you want to improve, don't run from challenges. Run toward them. Number 7, detach from emotions and just do it. Emotions are powerful, but they are also unreliable. The modern world constantly tells us to follow our feelings, but Stoicism takes the opposite stance. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, nothing, to my way of thinking, is a better proof of a well-ordered mind than a man's ability to stop just where he is and pass some time in his own company. Procrastination is often emotional. You don't feel like working, you don't feel ready, you feel overwhelmed. But the Stoic understands that feelings are not commands. Just because you feel unmotivated doesn't mean you can't take action. Action is what produces motivation, not the other way around. Think about how many people wait for the right mood to work out, start writing, or begin an important project. The Stoic doesn't wait. He knows that discipline is stronger than emotion. If you only take action when you feel like it, you'll never accomplish much. Instead, separate yourself from the emotion of the moment. See it for what it is, just a passing feeling. You don't have to be happy to go to the gym. You don't have to be inspired to write. You don't have to feel ready to begin. You just have to do it. One of the best modern ways to apply this is through structured habits. Remove choice from the equation. Instead of deciding whether you feel like doing something, make it automatic. Just as you don't think about brushing your teeth, don't think about whether you'll work on your goal. Show up, do the work, and let the feelings catch up later. Number 8, develop a daily discipline. Discipline is the antidote to procrastination. The Stoics knew that a well-lived life wasn't built on random bursts of motivation, but on consistent, deliberate action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, 'I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do?'" This is timeless wisdom. Every morning, people struggle with getting out of bed, facing their tasks, and following through on their goals. They hit snooze, push deadlines, and tell themselves they'll start tomorrow. But the Stoic sees duty as non-negotiable. You weren't born to waste time scrolling on your phone. You weren't given this life to spend it procrastinating. You were born to work, to contribute, to grow. A modern Stoic approach to discipline is to create structure in your day. Set routines that make action automatic. If you struggle to start, break tasks into small, manageable steps. If you tend to delay, set clear deadlines and hold yourself accountable. Most importantly, train yourself to show up regardless of how you feel. The warrior doesn't ask whether he's in the mood to fight. He does his duty. The disciplined mind doesn't debate whether to act. It simply does. Procrastination dies when you build discipline into your identity. Don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait for motivation. And don't wait for the right moment. Get up, do your work, and live with purpose every single day. Procrastination isn't just about time management. It's about mindset. The Stoics understood that action is what defines us, not our thoughts, plans, or excuses. Every moment you hesitate, you give away control of your life. But every time you take action, no matter how small, you reclaim it. So the question is, what will you do right now? Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Right now, because as Seneca warned us, time is the one thing we can never get back. Remember, the best philosophy is the one you live. Now go take action. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it to spread the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss future videos on Stoic living and personal growth. Thank you for watching, and I wish you strength on your journey.